this video, I invite you to discover the backstage of this shooting with Jay and the brand Sheen, who let me bother one of their dress for my shooting. Receiver? Is it receiver or emitter? I always forget that. I'm going to use the Black Promise from Thibaut. Which one is this one? 1/4?
1/8.
1/8. Yeah. Oh, there's another one here. That's alright. First, let's talk about the organization of the shooting. Why I wanted to do this shooting and how I did it. Since I was exploring the streets of Old GIII, like this kind of old, rusty part of Seoul that I really love, I always wanted to organize some shooting there, so this is the first of a series I want to make in these streets, with a Korean model and a cute dress in this like rusty, dark environment. So the idea at first to have like some girl which is kinda lost in this street, like running as a ghost, wandering around everywhere, and with that I wanted to use flash to get a proper shooting. So this shooting is more or less like editorial, I would say, because I want to show a dress in a Korean environment which we are not used to see generally with this dress. So I like this contrast, this kind of like pure, cute looking in a dark environment. For this shooting I had the opportunity to work with Neewer, who sent me 2 lights. I already did one video specifically about this tube TL60 from Neewer, which is a RGB LED light, very powerful, very useful by night. I used it with film photography and the pictures end up very cool. So go check this video quickly. But for this shooting I also wanted to use the Neewer Q4, which is right here, one of their portable professional flash, and it's fantastic. I never seen a flash that looks like this, but we are going to talk about it a little bit later in the video. First, let's finish with the shooting. I think the idea here will be, I will have like the frame over here in this direction, and then we will like walk and look up like you're curious about the environment, let's say. Ready, Jay? Ready for the pictures?
Yes, I'm ready.
So for contacting a model, most of the time I'm sticking to Instagram or sometimes other things like Behance, etc. But most of the time Instagram is like recommend me some models, some shooting and photographers, and I'm like, oh, this model could be nice for this shooting, or this one could be nice for this one. And I have a file which I save like every model with the one that speak Korean, the one that speak English, the one that speak French, etc, etc. And then it's much easier for me to reach them when I need something. After that I had to contact few of them, not too much at once, because I don't want to say every time like, oh sorry I choose someone else, etc, etc, because it's frustrating for the model. So I'm contacting time to time, so it's a long process. Every time I need to wait for the model to reply. To be honest, most of them never reply, but that's fine, it's part of the game. And luckily I got someone who replied to me, which is actually living in America because she's studying in America, so I had to wait a little bit, but it let me some time to organize everything. We'll try looking in on this way and this way, and we'll just try different pictures to see how it looks like.
Yeah.
And I think you can walk up to here, and I will try to get different pictures. Here you go, when you want. For the brand, same thing. I used to contact different clothing brands that I want to shoot with, where I find like some interesting clothing. For this shooting, I specifically wanted like a traditional hanbok, we call it in Korean. It's like the traditional outfit for men and women, but this brand is like modernizing these dresses and it looks pretty cool. So I asked them and they quickly reply, yes, definitely, that's something that we would like to do. So it was perfect for me. I didn't have to look for a very long time. Once everything was done for this contact, then I always really recommend you to do a mood board. Even if you are not doing exactly the same thing, it's always good to have a strong mood board just to give you some confidence and to know in what direction you are going. It's always good to have a mood board, so don't forget your mood board. And for that, most of the time I'm using freeform, but also for the IDs I'm using the easel version of Arc browser, which allows you to do screenshot directly on the website and import it into like a specific board where you can gather all your reference with the link to the website. And then I had to plan a date, the location of the shooting, to see the brand, to be sure we get the clothes that fits the model. So I had to go there with the model and then we could go to the shooting. And for that also, thanks a lot again to Thibaut, who helped me recording the video for these incredible shots as always. When you want, if you can come, let's go. just trying to get different movement to see how the light will affect the picture. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Let's try just a few like this and see how it reacts to the flash. I want to get some reddish on one side of me. Maybe less on your... Yeah, perfect. Just right here. Okay, let's go. These good ones. Even with the slow speed, I can just freeze the moment and have only the continuous light behind affecting the picture. Okay. Excuse me. First, let's see how it looks like. I have to put it over here. Okay, I'm good. You can go. It's pretty cool. Yeah, perfect. We'll take it a few times. I will try closer, like focus on this part of the body. Could you move one step down? Okay, that's right, because I want the light to be behind you too. If you can keep like having your body towards me, towards the flash, and looking at the end of the street. That was perfect. Yeah, exactly like this. Perfect. I will try with another lens to see what we can get. I will just turn this off. We never know how much battery we can get, so just in case, turn it off. Now we'll switch the wide angle lens. All good. Oh, that's cool. Very, very cool. I really like the hands with the nails too. Can you do exactly the same but looking in this direction? Perfect. I'll try to show the dress even more. I try to have the face not too much on the border because it might make the head quite weird if it's too close to the edge of the frame. Okay, once again. Once we were on the shooting, there is always like a long warm-up, I would say. And the idea that I wanted was to use first the flash that I have here just to freeze the model and the dress to have something easily to see, just to see the product and the model behaving in the streets. And also the tube TL60 right there that I wanted to use mostly to have like a ghosting effect going around her when she's moving, because I wanted most of the time movement in pictures, and you will see what it looks like, and it looks pretty sick. I had to pick a color. As always, I feel like red is a strong color, really easy to work with for this like dark mood, I would say. And for the rest, it was more or less like natural color, and this one was flashing a white color like 560. And I only used the reflector, which is here, that makes these little things extremely powerful. If I turn it on, just right there, up, there is the unlock button, and here you go. So this is not the strongest you can get, but the good thing is that you have the prop light that comes with it, which makes it extremely useful to see what you are going to highlight on your scene. But personally, I was not using it because if I was using it, then it will interfere in the pictures and make the model always blurry, because there will be always a continuous light on her face. And I only wanted this light to be continuous most of the time on the back, to have her back being blurry and ghosty, I would say. So it's very important when you want to do these pictures but you still want a sharp portrait at some point with the flash, you always need to remove the continuous light and only having the flash turned on when you trigger your picture. I really like the look of this, like just right there, the frame, the look of the framing here. And first we'll try with yeah, exactly here. That's cool looking. That's pretty nice, very, very cool. Let's see how it looks like. All good. Now we'll try to zoom and maybe looking higher. All good. Just want to have like some effect on the background to make it feel weird, let's say. Okay, let's go to the other place. It's not the easiest way to move with this whole setup. It looks like big, but it's pretty compact, to be honest. much. It's too much. So I needed to try different light, different setup, different street. When you are doing this in the street, it's always kind of hard to know exactly what you are doing. So it's always like a big process that you need to find. So you are trying to put the light quite high, then lower, then you put this light on the side, then on the back, etc, etc. You just need to try a lot until you reach what you were looking for. And this can take some time, but that's normal. It's part of the creation process. Oh my god. So hot. It's the beginning of summer in Korea and I'm already sweating so much. Maybe I shouldn't have chosen a white t-shirt for this video. It might end up very sweaty, whatever. Then for the flash, let's talk quickly about it. The Neewer Q4, which is a portable device which has a very strong battery that you can use for quite a long time actually. And the reflector, which is a Bowens, I think, mount, which allows you to mount a lot of different accessories with the light. But this one in the street is very nice. Also, what you get with this when you buy it, you have this handle like support foot, I don't know how to call that in English. It's very comfortable in head, so this has really made in like being able to be worn like this by an assistant very easily. So this is very cool to have this like this. This is also very satisfying to use and it's a very good quality stuff. Like I can't even, I closed it too tight. And you also have the place for the umbrella. If you want the umbrella just right there, you can mount one very easily, so that's pretty cool. You can really see that this has been think in a very nice way. I was thinking also maybe about using it just for some lighting for me when I do my video, but it's a little bit noisy for the video because of the fan turning, so I wouldn't recommend you that for sure. And about the menu, it's more or less the same as you can find in every other brand too, so it's basically like a professional tool. So you have like different channel, different group, you can choose the amount of power you want to put in your flash, 1/4 to 1/256. But you can also go to 1:1. You have the automatic mode, the multi, the TTL, etc, etc. I will not speak too technically about it, but just mostly about the feeling that I got with this. And about this, it was very easy to use. I basically just put it on the tripod, used this that Neewer sent me to. I just had to plug this. This one is made for Nikon, so you need to get the one for your brand. And basically it's almost like plug and go. You just put it on your camera, you trigger, and it works perfectly. And when you trigger that...
Okay, you know you're on an airplane?
It's quite strong. It's very, very strong.
Damn, what a gullible breed.
And you can see in the video I was using the flash time to time, very quickly sometimes, just to try a lot of different motion in my picture, and it reacts very well, very quickly. So that was the most important with that. And if I change the prop light to, yeah, so this is like almost full power like this. I don't know if you can see just right there like this, but this is quite powerful. If you are lost in the street in Korea, at least you can use it to find your way out very easily. Try to not break anything. So I think you're gonna have to let your stuff here, and I will try to get like the perspective of things going around. Okay. I'll try slower again. Oh my god, I can see my t-shirt is starting to sweat just down. Maybe we will just make it a little bit narrower just for your own good. There's a lot of numbers with the light. I just have everything on their website here. I'm not like a very technical person talking about numbers. I prefer to tell you about the feeling that I have of using this kind of stuff with the tube LED here. Basically, what you want to know is like on the first page, it's a 400 watts light, which is extremely strong for something that you can carry with you everywhere. For me, I could put it in my backpack. You have a recycling time to 0.01 to 1.2 seconds, but once again, for me, for what I used, it was way enough that I needed. For the power of the flash, I can definitely use it against the sun. I used it to shoot some of the thumbnail pictures for some last video that I recommend you to watch, and I had the sun straight behind me, and I used the flash to highlight the first scene with the camera in hand, and it was way enough to highlight everything with this strong power of 400 watts if you put it close enough, but even a little bit far away, that's way enough. You can use it with HSS up to 1/8000 of a second, which is once again overkill for most people, and 30 watt of modeling light, which is also quite strong. And you have a ton of different options and settings, but let's not talk too much about it. Those flash have different options which are quite similar to other ones. But the good thing about this one, it's the price. Of course, it's always changing depending on your country where you're living, but I can guarantee you that this is one of the cheapest you can get with the best quality. And this is why I accepted this, because I had friends using Neewer for a long time. They always told me that it was one of the best price quality you can get. But for the price, I have nothing to say. It's probably one of the best budget thing you can get without the budget side that most of the time you have when buying something cheap. Having it cropped like this could be very nice. Pretty nice. I like the contrast with the blue dress. The blue dress was definitely a very good idea. Can we try just a few more? If you can stand at the end, I will try to get like a big landscape. If you walk like few steps like this and looking towards me, I will put the flash in front of you over here. It's so good to be in Korea and not having to care about your stuff there. It's very nice. In France, not possible. Could you run now?
Run?
Yeah,
okay.
Please. Good. That's good, that's good. Keep running until the red fire water thing on your left.
Okay.
And I will try to move at the same time as you. Okay. At least you get warmer. Let's go. Yeah, and closer to me again. Yeah, good. Thank you. Okay, once again. Back on shooting, just to tell you about the setting that I'm using with the camera during this shooting. So the ISO will depend on the amount of light that I will need, so I can always adjust that. But most important for the effect that I was looking for, I'm always having the shutter speed at like 150, 120 per second, something like this, just to be able to have enough time for the camera to move and cap the movement with this light that will be shown on the movement on the model, or also on the areas that has continuous light. And then if I want to freeze the subject, as I told you, I will use the flash right there to be triggered without, very important, without continuous light, and you can get the pictures that you are actually looking. I'll show you, Thibaut, no worries. What time is it? You need to go? It's 9:20.
Yes, we have somewhere to go.
Okay, that's very good. I think we got like very good ones already, so that's very nice. Thank you a lot. Thank you. I don't know if I can bore as much as you. Thank you so much. It's very nice from you to come here. She came from America for the shooting.
Just for the shoot.
Just for the shoot. Finished. The last one are so cool. You start to, when you do your walk and you need like some time to warm up and to get what you want. That's exactly why sometimes I need some time, especially when I'm using a lot of light, you need a lot of try. But you just need to keep going, and at the end, you get exactly what we were looking for. So that's perfect. We couldn't like try a lot of things in a lot of places because these things, yeah.
Can you wait for me there, please? Because I can't finish my clothes here.
Oh, right, that's right.
Yeah, thank you.
She has to change to give me back the dress and I will give it back to the brand. By the way, thanks a lot to the brand that gave me the dress for the shooting. I will give you the name and the Instagram there. They are doing like Korean traditional dress, but most of the time modernized, and you can totally wear it like casually walking in the street, and that looks fantastic. And Korea should have more brands like this. I love the design of hanbok. Having it modernized is looking so perfect. So thanks a lot for this brand. Just keep trying a lot. Take your stuff out, try to experiment. Take a few hours outside by yourself. Of course, it's easier in Korea. I don't think I will do this in France as easily in the street, specifically in this kind of street. Well, I hope this video has been interesting for you. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for all these newcomers. There will be a lot of different shooting tips and techniques for this kind of things if you want to improve your photography skill. If you want to come in Korea and do some shooting, feel free to contact me. You also have my website. And until then, well, ciao!